I appreciate everyone once again joining my page for another episode of TTG Sports. Tonight, I attended the number one Tupelo Lady Waves versus the Center Hill Lady Mustangs. I think that's their mascot. But it was a lot. It's a lot of hype, and it and it says a lot when you are the number one team in your state. You know, being the number one team says a lot about you, but it also says a lot about your state. So I'm gonna get back to that statement, but I want to give you a brief rundown of the game. Tupelo won the game, but one thing that stood out to me is that Center Hill was playing without one of their players. I think Tupelo was playing without one of theirs too, I think. But Center Hill had 21 turnovers. Tupelo had 25. To be the number one team in the state to have 25 turnovers, that doesn't set a good example for our state. I don't know what a lot of y'all go to a game and watch and things like that, but one of my main things is when I'm watching kids is things like that, is how much they're turning the ball over, how much the team is turning the ball over. But a side note, referees was horrible tonight. Anybody that was at the game will let you know that the referees was horrible, but it still don't excuse some of the play that went on tonight. Center Hill didn't have but one player in double figures tonight, and it was just like they couldn't get nothing to fall. And I think that was Collins, who had I think she had 13 points. She had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 turnovers. But Center Hill just couldn't get nothing to fall. They played hard. I will give them that. They played hard. They just didn't have enough, and it just says where our state is at when it comes to competition, when it comes to talent. I think we do too much of putting these kids in front of cameras and just truly working with these kids, because I'm going to get down, especially when I get to Tupelo. I'm going to get down and try to give some advice, but also try to give my true insight on what's going on. But pretty much that was all that was going on with Center Hill was Collins. A lot of people couldn't get going, but like I said, they played hard. As you can see, Tupelo made them turn the ball over 21 times, but it doesn't define the game. Like I say, they couldn't get no shots to fall. A lot of kids wasn't taking advantage of the opportunity. It seemed like the moment was just too big for them. It wasn't that Tupelo just totally outplayed Center Hill. It was just more, it seemed like the moment was too big for Center Hill at the time. So like I say, I'm not going to get into too much of their stats because I done already evaluated Center Hill and their kids, and some of their kids. It's just a boost for those, for them again, for the ones that did probably have a good showing the first time and probably had a good showing the second time, which they didn't score too many points tonight. It was just really a sloppy game on their behalf as a whole, you know what I'm saying, besides the energy of them continuing trying to fight in the game. It's just that Tupelo had way more talent. It wasn't that Tupelo just explored their talent on them tonight. It's just that the talent just overcame the sloppy play of Center Hill, and and due to how Tupelo still played, they still played good enough to win the game. All right, Tupelo was led by Michaela Riley. She had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Michaela did a lot of good things at moments in the game. It's good to see how she's getting around on that leg. Wasn't disappointed in what I've seen in Michaela. if I just had to give one insight on what I can try to improve, just when you're driving, work on that 1-2 pull up a little more. You know what I'm saying? Instead of using the floater and always trying to attack the basket, you have a quick first step. Learn how to utilize it and pull up on this second step, and and that's something you're gonna have to work on at the next level now. So it's best to start working on it right now. There was a kid, I think number 14. Her last name was Harvey. Great energy out this kid. I like the young talent in the kid. I don't know the classification of the kid, but I like what I saw up out of her. She was a bright spot for their team tonight in spots. Like I say, this Tupelo team, with the talent that they have, they just played in spots tonight to me. Wasn't very impressed because they're the number 1 team in the state. I honestly, personally, looking down on the sideline, I didn't see their coach. It just didn't seem like he was coaching at all. Like he was just letting the kids do what they want to do. It just didn't seem like it was a whole bunch of coaching. It seemed like they were walking around with that number 1 syndrome, like I've already got it, like it's already given to you. And I just don't feel like anything is going to be given to you, because the way Tupelo played tonight, anybody could have beat them. Anybody could have beat them, especially if shots were falling. The score doesn't dictate how the game was. Anybody could have beat Tupelo tonight, but neither here nor there. We'll still just touch on a few other things and a few bright spots. Audrey Houston, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. I was very impressed with Audrey on the defensive side of the ball also. She set the tone at the beginning of the game when Tupelo did have bright spots. It started from the defensive side of the ball, and Audrey was doing that when she was making World turn the ball over at the beginning of the game. So Audrey showed me, which I've never seen her really just put clamps on or just try to play defense like that. I just never had laid eyes on this kid since this summer and up until now. And that was one thing that I was looking for as I watch her further in the season. And to see her start out playing defense, it lets you know that the kid is working on her overall game and not just one aspect of the game. And that was a good bright spot that I also seen. Number 1, I didn't get the kid name, but one thing I love about number 1, she got that I think she looks kind of young. They say she's a sophomore, but the kid, man, I think the kid ended up with 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. It just didn't seem like the game was just too big for her at all. Man, that kid there is going to be special. I think the kid is a sophomore. I get her name for y'all coaches later on. But the kid, I liked the energy that I seen out of the kid, especially if she's a young kid. That's going to be something to watch with her, because I love the way she came out and played on both sides of the ball. Like the energy that she brings, and they always say the ball finds energy, and it just seemed like somehow the ball was always in her hand one way or another. And and that was something that really impressed me. You know what I'm saying? She was just an overall player. You just couldn't just dictate on what she did. And if this kid is young, this kid has a very bright future in the state of Mississippi. 31 came off the bench. At one point in time, she was a rebound king. She ended up with 7 rebounds, 4.7 rebounds. But I don't know her name neither, but she brought a good spark off the bench for the Lady Waves and things like that. So I don't want that kid to go unnoticed. But like I say, coaches, I do a better job of getting the roster for you, especially by the time I give you my evals sometime in December or at the beginning of January. Jade Rucker. I'm going to say this. I understand why colleges has offered Jade, because you see the potential and you see what can almost be there, because She's a long kid, about 6 feet, 6'1", long kid. But we can't base things off potential. I haven't seen Jade. This was my first time ever seeing Jade, and I'm not gonna try to make her feel or try to make it seem like I'm the bad guy when it comes to, because schools have offered her. But tonight Jade had a bad game in my eyes. Jade had 5 turnovers and things like that, air balls, things like that. If I could say one thing to Jade about her game, I would just say, just calm down. Everything will just come to you. It's no doubt that you have the potential. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to get everything all in one trip down the floor or in one play. You know what I'm saying? It's plain to see that you do have a bright future. But right now it's not to a point to where we need to be just hanging our head. As I can see, I'm very impressed on how you come back off the injury. I have nothing bad to say about your game. Only thing I would say is that you had a bad game tonight. And to your credit, the referees gave 2 of your turnovers that you had. Oh, the referees was horrible with them. So I think that had a lot to do with it too. But that comes with being a young player and in the heat of the game. Refs sometimes take their emotions out on kids, and with you being the type of player that you got and you got the target on your back, you got to learn how to deal with all the adversity and not let it rattle you. It seemed like the game rattled you a little tonight, but I'm not going to say that it did. But from my standard point of view, it seemed like it rattled, especially when you shot the air ball. It just seemed like you was just trying to find a way to get it in the basket when you was starting to do good on the rebounding side of the ball. But like I say, neither here nor there. Overall, what can I say? D1 schools has offered you, but tonight I don't think no one on this court tonight presented D1 potential. I think everyone on this court tonight, especially with Tupelo, everyone that pretty much touched the floor tonight for Tupelo, 31. 31 coming off the bench. 6 players, like they can easily play at the next level. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself when it comes to this. But one thing I would want to give Tupelo as the insight is that y'all are the number one team in our state. If the way that y'all were coached tonight, I couldn't trust y'all on a national scale because I just didn't see enough coaching. I just didn't see enough engagement from the coaches and to the players and things like that. Seemed like everybody was just trying to get through the night. Like it really didn't make no difference. We way better than Center Hill. But that attitude and mentality and body language would get you beat in the long run. So if I had to give one insight on what y'all need to do is not take anyone take advantage of anyone, because ain't nobody gonna take advantage of the chance to beat you when they can. So with me watching these games, and especially this game tonight, with Tupelo being the number one team in the state, we got a long way to go when it comes to Mississippi basketball. I mean, a long way to go. And I would encourage, and I'm going to keep saying this, that I encourage that we continue to put our kids in the gym more than putting them on tape more. Because half of the time you're showing these tape against deflated talent, like talent that will never play at the next level and things like that. But you come here and you want all the accolades and want all the offers and want all these things. You're going to end up going up to one school. You want all these coaches. I don't think no one in Mississippi, with the exception of India, Madison Booker, especially in this 23 class, like I feel like everyone at this moment that I've only seen 2 D1 players in my 5 games that I've already seen. Well, we know Madison's one, but I've only seen 1 in 5 games, and that's India born. So like we have to do better with stop promoting our kids and start working with our kids. These kids are not bargaining tools. Like, who are you playing if you get all these offers in the summer? Who are you playing for you to get an offer, but when you're playing against talent that is not as good as you still can't do anything? We got to stop hyping these kids, because at the end of the day, hyping these kids don't do nothing but set them up for failure. Because at the end of the day, the way these two teams played tonight, I don't know if anybody would be impressed with anything that went on tonight in my eyes. And I'm just speaking for me. I don't speak for nobody else. You know, I wasn't impressed with nothing. I invited folks to the game and stuff. Like, man, I was very disappointed, because I'm trying to get people to understand of the level of competition when it comes to Mississippi girls basketball. And we had the #1 team in the state tonight in Olive Branch. Well, not in Olive Branch, but playing at Center Hill, which is located in Olive Branch. And they came up and didn't give us nothing. Didn't give us nothing to look forward to be like, because I wouldn't be scared. If I was Center Hill and knowing that I played them without Hughes, I wouldn't be scared of no Tupelo. But due to how the talent is not as good right now, Tupelo might end up winning the state title. They should win the state title. If they don't win the state title, that coach needs to be fired. And I don't care what nobody say. That man has enough talent. I did not see If I'm lying, I'm flying, and I want you to show me at least 5 times. But I did not see Tupelo run a set all night. Run a set all night. I did not see them run a set all night. That's why you don't see them many assists over here, because they was just playing off defense, getting it, going, boom, 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 boom. It's me, it's that. They didn't run a set all night. Everybody's just trying to do it for themselves. And at the end of the day, if you run across a team that's halfway decent, they can mess around, and together they'll mess around and beat that team the way they played tonight. They done put up 80 points in games before, but I'm saying tonight, they did not play like the #1 team in the state, even though they won the game. And I just wish that we could just focus on more of helping these kids fix their mistakes instead of promoting when they do something good and just leave away the bad. Because we are lost right now. If anybody was in that game last night from out of state of Mississippi, I would have been embarrassed to tell folks this is the best team in the state of Mississippi. Man, we just got to do better. And one thing that I want to touch on before we go, and that would touch on before I go today, is that out of all these games that I don't watch, junior high, high school, it's certain things that I have noticed that I feel like need to be addressed, that I feel like may help kids prepare for the next level, or even parents. One thing that's very disrespectful to a coach at any level, is a parent coaching the kid from the stands. But the thing about coaching can't do anything about the person coaching from the stands. You know, some people have a different way of cheering and how things like that. The embarrassing part is that when the kid looks in the stands, coaches do not like kids who are stand watchers, who bring a lot of baggage outside of basketball when it comes to this game of basketball. I see a lot of people coaching their kids, and kids just eyeballing the stands, and nobody's paying attention to the coach. Like, that's very disrespectful, and you won't want nobody to do you like that. And one thing that's going to help you, small things like that will help you make coaches recognize who you are if they don't see you paying attention to the bleachers. So that's one thing that I saw. And kids, if you've been calling yourself working all summer or putting half work in all summer, don't come back. I see a lot of kids getting upset because they get taken out the game and things like that. And when you see them on the court, you can tell these kids ain't been working on their game worth a flip. So, and the first thing they want to do is blame the coach. You know what I'm saying? But the coach wasn't with you all summer. The coach had you probably 20 days of the summer, and what was you doing the other day? The other 60. You know, everybody depends on the coach. Don't nobody want to put in no extra work. And as I can tell, looking at all this talent, nobody puts in the extra work to be great at this game. Everybody just want the little fame. Let me get an offer here. Let me get an offer there. Let me go on a visit and things like that. Then after that, it's just done. We got to do better. We got to do better. And so before I go, like I said, shouts out to Tupelo, even though they won the game. So you got to give them credit for whatever they did. They won the game. But I was not impressed with either team tonight. If anything, if there was any bright spots, like I said, Riley had good moments during the game. But her in Houston and number one for Tupelo, they definitely stood out. So I'm going to give those kids their flowers, and because those kids did stand out. But like I said, overall as a team, was not impressed with them being number one. Anticipating on seeing Germantown, since Germantown is the number 2 team in the state. That'll give me a definitely insight on what's going on, because Germantown whooping everybody that way. It seems like It seems like I do know in 6A that the gold ball may come to the north this year due to it don't seem like it's no pressure down there in the south, but we'll get down there to it. And shouts out to Tupelo. I've been seeing all the good. I mean, shouts out to Pontotoc. I've been seeing all the good work y'all been doing over the past couple of weeks and things like that. I will be out to see y'all soon. I just don't know when, but I got a date in mind on when I'll be able to see y'all. But like I said, let's put more time in the gym. I'm gonna keep stressing it. Let's put more time in the gym instead of on film. And that's all we gotta do. Put more time in the gym instead of putting more time on film, and let our game speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Because we done let coaches, AAU coaches just ruin what's going on, and we just need to get back to the basics of what's going on. Hard working, like Mississippi used to be known for hard working kids who want to get it out the mud. Now we just got a whole bunch of entitled kids that just spoil and just feel like things should just go their way whenever it need be. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, this generation of kids are totally different. Back in the day, we can be in the gym, somebody mess up and coach can say, get online. We'll be like, man, why you didn't make the layup? You know what I'm saying? But we'll still be running. And then we'll wonder why we still running, because we talking. And coach will be like, y'all ain't gonna stop. I ain't gonna stop running till y'all stop talking. You mess around and tell a kid, get on the line now, they'll go pick their phone up talking about, I'm gonna call my mom. We gotta do better with our kids. We gotta stop giving our kids something that they don't already have. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, once again, I appreciate everyone joining me. Like I said, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube page, TTG Sports, and everything. And like I said, if you ain't trained to go, you can't be on this show. I'm a